Well, what you must know is that Nnamdi Kanu is being held hostage on behalf of the famed unity of Nigeria. That's what it's all about. It's as simple as that. If you mention his name in certain circles, they don't want to hear it because they feel like he threatens the real estate called Nigeria. And his Igbo makes it worse because Nigeria's DNA hates the Igbo for attempting, in the 60s and, towards the end of the 70s, to leave a country they said is no longer favorable to their existence.
Good evening, everyone. On the 19th day of this month, that is June 2024, Nnamdi Kanu will still be going to court. So his trial is tomorrow again. Before we go into what tomorrow will look like, let us talk about what is going on in Rivers State. Today have been a busy day. I've been busy since yesterday evening, so that is why I've not been uploading videos regularly. But a lot of things have been happening. If you're on the internet space, you must have seen how local government chairmen were chased out. Those people who have been used by Wike promised them a lot of things, promised them heaven and earth, godfatherism and so on, and he wanted to use them to disorganize the state. You understand what happened when the House of Assembly that Anoya to Wike defected to APC. At the end, they lost their seat. Now they are crying from one place to the other. The lower court has sacked them. The appeal court now asks them to maintain the status quo. They should remain sacked. So I think they will be regretting why they are following Wike, but that is not what I want to talk. You see this video you are watching on the screen. They are pulling down the status of Wike in his local government where he was local government chairman before. Now, I want to tell Nigerians, time will come. This is how governors will run away from their states. Time will come, politicians will be running like this in Nigeria. It will happen, not in the next world to come. In this world, with this kind of injustice going on in Nigeria, with this kind of, hunger, with this kind of inflation, with this kind of insecurity where the government don't know their primary responsibility, time will come, there will be a revolution like this. You see, history has demonstrated that power belongs to the people. No matter how we remain dormant because of fear, because of religion, because of tribe, sometimes we are just dormant. But let me tell you, time will come, and history has demonstrated that leaders have been toppled. You see what is happening in Rivers State, it is going to happen in Nigeria. Put it in your calendar, mark it, so that when it happens, you will remember today. What is happening in Rivers State, it is going to happen in Nigeria. It is a matter of time. If they tell Weekend, let me say yesterday that today, that Rivers State is going to be like this, that he is going to lose his structure, he's going to lose his power. He was boasting, telling them, this is our work. Nobody can remove the local government chairman. Nobody can sack the House of Assembly. I am wicked. This is our work. Who be that person? They're not born that person. That is the nature of Nigerian politicians. That is the nature of everything they are doing. But the problem I have is not only with the politicians. The problem I have is with us, we the citizens. It is with us because we have allowed this thing to go on for ages. In one of my videos, I was telling people why growing up, even when I have not started voting, seeing in the polling booths how PDP used to void people's vote, they suffer the opposition. I knew that we have problem ahead. I know that right from time. Because seeing how they void vote, how they rig election openly, and nobody will talk because PDP was in power then. Now everyone is suffering that seed of evil that they have sowed for a very long time. And they are still sowing it. APC is sowing their own, PDP is sowing their own. And I think so many Labour Party legislatures, they will still try to sow their own next election because I don't know what they are doing in a House of Assembly floor. So that is apart. Now, I believe that there will be another reaction from Nnamdi Kanu tomorrow during the court proceedings because Justice Binta Nyako, we know her destiny tomorrow. We know whether she will continue with the case of Nnamdi Kanu, she will know tomorrow. Whether she will not continue it, she will know tomorrow. Because a lot of things has been going on with this case, as you people know. This court case has been a delay tactics. Why the federal government has been holding Nnamdi Kanu, giving different excuses. But there is a lot of tension on Tinubu, and I believe that Tinubu, maybe not from his mind, maybe from his mind, he will release Nnamdi Kanu because there have been a lot of tension. I don't know whether it will be from his mind or not, but people will push him to do that if the court did not do that. So that is apart. In case you have not watched this video, you see, Nnamdi Kanu is a kind of person that a lot of people are holding his neck. DSS is there, the Federal High Court is there, some Igbo politicians are there, and so on and so forth. Many people don't just want him to be released. Do you remember this video when Eshowore was saying that every court case, like tomorrow again, DSS are still going to benefit 500 million naira, $500 million. Every day Nnamdi Kanu goes to court, the DSS are making 500 million. That was what Eshowore revealed before. In case you have not watched this video, it's just a throwback. Take a look.
One of them, of course, Nnamdi Kanu,
Yes.
who remains in custody and whose continued incarceration some people see as the unfairness of the Nigerian system, because other separatist agitators from other ethnic groups have been freed, whilst Mr. Kanu, who is Igbo, remains in custody. What are your thoughts on that? Because the argument is that he was charged to court and the courts freed him, but he's still locked up.
Well, what you must know is that Nnamdi Kanu is being held hostage on behalf of the famed unity of Nigeria. That's what it's all about. It's as simple as that. If you mention his name in certain circles, they don't want to hear it because they feel like he threatens the real estate called Nigeria. And his Igbo makes it worse because Nigeria's DNA hates the Igbo for attempting, in the 60s and, towards the end of the 70s, to leave a country they said is no longer favorable to their existence. But I keep saying, and I will repeat here again, is there any Nigerian out there in their majority who has not mentally seceded from Nigeria? Not many. That's why people are living in droves. Each time you get on a plane leaving this country is full, each time it's coming back, probably full too, but it is those who are coming back to pack their things that are coming back. That's the way I describe it. But the truth is that Nnamdi Kanu has been held hostage. He was abducted from Kenya, extraordinary rendition. The fact that he's kidnapped from Kenya could not be explained shows that any judicial pronouncement or processes after that is null and void. You cannot go and kidnap somebody and bring them before a court. And the courts have made it very clear, even up to the Supreme Court, that he did not jump bail. It was the military that went to his house to kill people, and then he escaped. And now you have brought him back, you ought to respect and restore his bail. That's what I told his lawyers. Why are you applying for bail again? Because the Supreme Court made all the pronouncements except releasing him. And I think it was because they were afraid. And that's why I said he's a hostage to this country. And like you rightly said, there are other people who have made even more egregious pronouncements and fought and carried arms in this country. And you have not treated them the same way because they're not Nnamdi Kanu's, their name don't sound East. And I'm not here to fetish being able, but the reality is that they are not treated fairly. And Nnamdi Kanu is part of the reason why that is clear to everybody.
Right.
And by the way, I must also reveal here that there are some Igbo elites who are behind this. Whenever there's a crime of conspiracy against freedom fighters, there are people inside and outside who are working together.
Well, let's return to you.
Yes.
Are you going to run again for president in 2027?
So let me give you a cliche. I never stop running, even after the 2018-2019 election. But that is not to say that I will be running perpetually for office. My goal is to make this country work in my lifetime.
And do you have a master plan to achieve that goal?
I have made it public. I was the first person to bring a digital master plan to bear on Nigeria. Even, and this I can provide, even the so-called coastal highway, I was the first person to talk about it in 2018 when I visited Badagry for a town hall meeting. But mine was supposed to start from Badagry to Calabar and eventually to go from there to Senegal, because I believe in the unity of the African continent.
So you support that coastal highway?
Well, I don't support the one they are building now. because
But you support the one that you want to build?
Yes, because the one they are building now is a Atlantic outlet.
Right.
Yes, and I would predict here today, the coastal highway they are building is probably going to end up at the Dangote refinery because it's meant for transporting high-level workers from the Atlantic to the refinery and back. After that, you would never hear about the coastal highway again because that's the design. And I don't know why journalists haven't asked for us to have the real full master plan. It makes it sound today that the coastal highway is only about, what's that place they're demolishing there?
The landmark.
The landmark.
Yeah.
No, the coastal highways, we're supposed to have a model that is shown to us on TV every day. This is the digital model.
Well, in fairness, they've shown a route.
A route
The
is
route
not,
that
I'm
is
talking about
supposed
a
to
model
run
on
through.
where we
Right.
pass, But now we only have, they said they're only doing 47 kilometers. And don't forget that the people who are building the coastal highway, the high-tech people, also had promised to build highways from Lagos to Ekpa, and they've been doing it for probably 20 years since Tinubu came to power. Never got past the stage. That's why I'm saying this is a 47-kilometer highway meant to just provide an outlet for the Bundungu they're building called the Eco Atlantic. Because how was it that people were going to come in there and bring 300,000 people and there's no any other outlet? So the coastal highway now is going to be built by Nigeria for a private investor, real estate investor. That's what it is about. So this is not the coastal highway that I wanted to build.
Well, we'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah.
But we're almost out of time, and it's an absolute delight to have you here. But you called for revolution now.
Yes.
That was one of the reasons you were charged with treason.
That's right.
But should it be about revolution or about reform? I mean, there's a difference there, isn't there?
Why I was calling for revolution is that I spent 2 years at Columbia University in New York, an Ivy League school.
That's a very good school.
Yes,
Yeah.
one of the best 10 in the US.
Yeah.
And most people have never heard this about me before. And part of the reason I attended Columbia University was because they were calling me layabout at the University of Lagos because I was an activist. And I went to one of the best schools in the world. And I know what reforms are about from the World Bank, from the internet. And Nigeria's case has gone beyond reform. Only a revolution can address the issue. But guess what? The revolution used to be a taboo word in 2019 when I was using it. Now it's freely used. Everybody is calling for a revolution, including those who were opposed to it in 2019. It's beyond me, but I would say this because it's important for the public, that revolutions that are supposed to happen will happen no matter how long it will take. You can only suppress people only for a time. But the Nigerian revolution is building up. What builds up a revolution are the ingredients you have in place. And suppress of ethnic groups, suppress of free speech, journalists, taxation without responsibility, And I wanted to say about landmark that I was aware that they're not demolishing landmark just because they want to build a road. They had been targeting the landmark guy even before now. They refused to let him have a water corporation land that he wanted to build part of, because they said, they are too powerful here. These are things that have been going on for a long time. So it is not by accident that they are demolishing the place. There are connotations to it. And I'm saying it publicly here.
Right.
Yes.
So basically, broadly speaking,
Yeah.
we're out of time, but just very briefly.
Broadly speaking,
the approaching
specifically
storm,
speaking,
the approaching storm is still approaching.
oh yes, it's just a matter of time. And it's going to happen whether I lead it or not. It's just a matter of time. It's a ticking bomb because you cannot hold people to ransom for this long and you will not be suffering consequences for it.